Good day, distinguished listeners, and welcome to another edition of Amogate Radio Communications, ARC. I am Adiola Gbadebo, and I'm delighted to have you join me. ARC is a leadership and knowledge platform of the Amogate Management Consult, committed to developing transformational leaders, strengthening organizations, and helping individuals build the competence, character, and the capacity required to create sustainable impact. This quarter, our team, the team that we've been talking about, is the advantage, winning beyond talent. I began this series by asking a fundamental question: is talent enough to guarantee success? Our answer was no. In the first episode, we explained why talent alone is never enough. In the second episode, we explored the discipline advantage and how consistency transforms potential into performance. The third episode was where we discussed the learning advantage and the importance of remaining relevant in a rapidly changing world. Today, we move into a territory that is perhaps even more fundamental. So our topic is the character advantage. Why integrity is your greatest personal asset. So let me begin with this provocative statement. Yes, I just want to prick you a little. Your competence may get you into the room, but your character determines whether people will continue to trust you once you are there. You can be highly intelligent. You can have exceptional qualifications. You can be incredibly talented. You can even have excellent communication skills, producing outstanding results. But if people cannot trust you, your long-term professional value becomes severely compromised. And this is why character matters. What exactly is character? When we talk about character, people sometimes immediately think about morality. While morality is certainly part of it, character is broader. Character is essentially the pattern of qualities and behavior. A pattern of qualities and behaviors that define how a person conducts themselves. Particularly when there is pressure, temptation, uncertainty, or no immediate supervision. That's deep, right? The qualities and behaviors that define how a person conducts themselves when there is pressure, when there is temptation or certainty, and when there is no immediate supervision. So, character answers questions such as: can I trust this person? Will this person keep their word? Will this person take responsibility when things go wrong? Will this person treat people fairly when they have power over them? Will this person do the right thing when doing the wrong thing will be more profitable? Can I trust this person with confidential information? Will this person tell me the truth even when the truth is uncomfortable? These questions matter enormously in organizations, because organizations are built on relationships, and every relationship is built on trust. So I dare say that competence gets you noticed, but character gets you trusted. Let's consider a typical recruitment situation. An organization is looking for a senior manager. Candidate A has exceptional technical competence. Candidate B has very good technical competence, but also demonstrates strong interpersonal skills, accountability, emotional maturity, and integrity. If everything else is equal, which candidate would you rather put in charge of people, finances, clients, confidential information, and strategic decisions? Most responsible organizations would rather choose candidate B. Why? Because the cost of a character failure at senior level can be enormous. A poor technical decision can sometimes be corrected. A character problem can destroy trust. It can damage relationships. It can cause financial losses. It can create reputational damage. It can sometimes bring down an entire organization. There will be litigations here and there. Too many battles, to confront at once. This is why character is not simply a personal issue. Character is an organizational risk factor. Character is an organizational risk factor. Let's take this case study, our first case study. Enron. The organization is Enron. When talent and ambition collide with character. So let's consider one of the most famous corporate failures in modern business history, Enron. At its peak, Enron was one of America's most admired corporations. It attracted highly educated professionals. It employed brilliant financial experts. It had sophisticated technology. It had ambitious leaders. Its executives were celebrated as innovators. In fact, the organization sometimes was invited into Nigeria to solve one of the states invited, I think it's Lagos State, invited it to come and help solve some of the electricity problems. So on the surface, it was a highly talented organization. But underneath, the impressive performance was a culture increasingly characterized by aggressive accounting practices, deception, and the manipulation of financial information. The reputation they attained was falsified. It was, manipulated. The organization eventually collapsed in 2001. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. Investors lost billions of dollars. The company's collapse also contributed to the destruction of Arthur Andersen, one of the world's major accounting firms at the time, because they cooked the books for Enron. The lesson from Enron is not that talent is dangerous. The lesson is that talent without character can become destructive. A highly intelligent person who lacks character can potentially cause more damage than an incompetent person. Why? Because competence increases capability. And when capability is combined with unethical behavior, the consequences can be amplified. Therefore, when we recruit, when we promote and develop leaders, we must not only ask, can this person deliver the results? We must also ask, how will this person deliver those results? That distinction is critical. The danger of rewarding results at any cost. There's a danger in rewarding results at any cost. There's a dangerous leadership culture that says, I don't care how you get the results, just get the results. That's a terrible leadership statement. Yes, it sounds performance-oriented, but it can be extremely dangerous. If you reward only outcomes and ignore behavior, and you ignore the process, the procedure, whether it is ethical or not, people eventually learn that the outcome is all that matters. And once people believe that, ethical boundaries begin to move. A salesperson may manipulate figures to meet a target. An employee may hide a mistake rather than report it. A manager may intimidate employees to increase productivity. An executive may manipulate information to protect a reputation. A business owner may compromise quality to increase profit. The problem is not ambition. The problem is ambition without ethical boundaries. So high-performing organizations therefore need both performance and principles, results and responsibilities, growth and governance, profit and reputation. So character is actually revealed under pressure. One of the biggest mistakes we make when assessing character is looking only at how people behave when everything is going on well. Anyone can be pleasant when things are easy. Character becomes visible when circumstances become difficult. How do you behave when you are angry? How do you respond when you are criticized? What happens when someone challenges your authority? How do you react when you make a mistake? What do you do when you discover that your colleague has made an error? How do you behave when you have the power to exploit someone who is vulnerable? These situations reveal character. This is particularly important for leaders because leadership gives people power, and power amplifies behavior. A person with integrity becomes more trustworthy as their influence increases. A person without integrity can become increasingly dangerous as their influence increases. That is why character development must precede or accompany leadership development. Character development must precede or accompany leadership development. Let's take a break now, and after we break, we will continue with our second case study.
At Armor Gates Training, we believe professional development should do more than inform. It should transform how people work, lead, and deliver results. That's why we support organizations through conceptual insight, practical learning, and performance evaluation right at the intersection of leadership, strategy, and institutional transformation. Our approach focuses on practical learning format that professionals can immediately apply in their workplace. At Armor Gate, we don't teach theory alone. We equip participants with real-world insight drawn from almost 2 decades of organizational transformation experience. Our programs combine multiple learning methods designed for real-time measurable results. Through seminars, we facilitate deep conversation on key subjects. Using group exercises, participants collaborate, reflect, and think strategically. With case studies, they then sharpened analytical and decision-making skills using real industry scenarios. Through relevant videos, we spark insightful discussions using relatable real-life context. All in all, every participant develops an individual work plan, ensuring the learning turns into real action after the program. Our training programs are hosted in world-class venues across global cities, including Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Mombasa, Cape Town, Dubai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, London, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Let's work with you to turn learning into your organization's growth. For more inquiries, call +234 807 9574 151 or WhatsApp +1 610 504 6026. Visit www.thearmorgate.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Armorgate. Armorgate Training, transforming knowledge, interaction, and growth.
Welcome back to Armorgate Radio Communications, where we have been treating the theme The advantage, winning beyond talent. The advantage, winning beyond talent. And our topic for today, which is episode 4, is the character advantage. Why integrity is your greatest professional asset. The character advantage. Why integrity is your greatest professional asset. Well, I said that your competence may get you into the room, but your character determines whether people will continue to trust you once you are there. We also define character as a pattern of qualities and behaviors that define how a person conducts themselves, particularly when there is pressure, temptation, uncertainty, or no immediate supervision. When you said that competence gets you noticed, but character gets you trusted. Yes, we spoke about our first case study was when we spoke about Enron, that American company that eventually collapsed in 2001 because they manipulated figures to create a reputation. Eventually, everything came crumbling like a pack of cards, and we said talent without character can become destructive. Talent without character can become destructive. And we said that we should not reward only results. We shouldn't say we just want to reward results at all cost. I don't care how you get the result, just get the result. That is one of the statements that we should avoid completely. And that character, true character, is revealed under pressure. So now let's go to our second case study about Johnson & Johnson and the Tylenol crisis. Johnson & Johnson and the Tylenol crisis. So let's look at a very different example. In 1982, Johnson & Johnson faced a devastating crisis in the United States when several people died after taking Tylenol capsules that had been tampered with. The situation created enormous uncertainty and potentially catastrophic reputational consequences for the company. So the company's response became a major case study in corporate crisis management. Johnson & Johnson prioritized customer safety. So what did they do? The company recalled millions of bottles of Tylenol from the market despite the enormous financial cost. It also worked with authorities and introduced a new tamper-resistant packaging. The company was not simply protecting its product, it was protecting the trust. And trust is one of the most valuable assets that a company possesses. The lesson for today's leader is extremely important. Integrity is easiest to claim when they cost you nothing. The real test comes when doing the right thing is expensive, when integrity costs you money, when integrity costs convenience, costs you a promotion, when integrity requires admitting that you were wrong, when integrity requires you saying, "We're sorry, we made a mistake." That is when character becomes visible. That is when character becomes visible. The character test. Let me introduce a simple framework that I call the character test. So before making an important professional decision, ask yourself 5 questions. 1. Is it legal? If something violates the law, the discussion should normally end there. But legality is only the first test. Something can be legal and still be unethical. So we move to the second question. Number 2, is it ethical? Does this decision respect accepted standards of fairness, honesty, and responsibility? Number 3, will I be comfortable if the decision became public? Will I be comfortable if the decision became public? This is an extremely powerful question. Imagine that your decision appears on the front page of a newspaper tomorrow. What would you still defend it? Number 4 question. Will I advise someone I mentor to do the same? The question exposes double standards. We sometimes expect standards from others that we do not maintain ourselves. The fifth question: does this decision strengthen or weaken trust? Perhaps the most important question. Because once trust is damaged, rebuilding it can be extremely difficult. So let's talk about character and human resource management. Let me speak from an HR perspective. Character should not be treated as something that is considered only during recruitment. It should be embedded throughout the employee life cycle. Yesterday, for an organization that I consult for, I heard, it was 2 days ago, I heard something quite disturbing. And it was that the school had, payments were made into other accounts different from the school's accounts for receivables. I mean, one of the managers in charge, who is also in management position, diverted funds through an alternative account that is akin to the organization's accounts, very different from what the organization uses. That's you can imagine. And I was asked for my own recommendation, and I said, instant sack. You sack that person without. It's not about when do we get a replacement. No, you shouldn't have such a person within your organization. Yes. So, character should influence your recruitment, your onboarding, your performance management system, promotion, and appraisals, leadership development, succession planning, reward systems, discipline, your disciplinary processes. Organizations should be careful about promoting people solely because they deliver numbers. Someone may be brilliant, may be a brilliant individual, contributor, but a terrible people manager. Someone may generate significant revenue, but create a toxic environment. Someone may be exceptionally productive, but consistently violate organizational values. Promotion should therefore answer 2 questions. What has this person achieved? And how did this person achieve it? The second question is often neglected, and that is a mistake. Character and personal brand. We live in an era of personal branding. People are encouraged to build visibility on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, and other social media platforms. There's nothing wrong with visibility, but we must remember something. Your personal brand is what people see. Your character is who you are when nobody is watching. A polished online profile cannot compensate indefinitely for poor character. Eventually, people experience the real person. The strongest personal brand is therefore not a carefully designed image. It is consistency between who you are, who you say you are, and how actually you behave. Your reputation is the accumulated memory of people's experiences with you. Your reputation is the accumulated memory of people's experiences with you. Protect it. Protect that reputation. Building the character advantage. So how do we intentionally develop character? Here are 6 practical, disciplines that we can use. Number 1, keep your promises. If you cannot keep a commitment, communicate early. Reliability builds trust. Become reliable. Be reliable. Don't only be responsible, be reliable. Number 2, take responsibility. Do not always look for someone to blame. Leaders ask, what part of this belongs to me? What is my blame in all this? Number 3, tell the truth, especially when the truth is uncomfortable. Number 4, treat people well, particularly people who cannot advance your career. So if you only treat people who can advance your career, then that's just transactional, because you can get something. That's why you're treating them well. But people who cannot advance your career, treat them well. That is a powerful character test. So number 5 is accepting feedback. Accept feedback. People with strong character are not threatened by constructive criticism. They use it for growth. Number 6, establish your non-negotiable values. Decide in advance that you will not compromise. Because if you wait until you are under pressure to determine your principles, you may negotiate them away. The professional character audit. So I want you to conduct a personal character audit this week. Ask yourself these questions. Am I the same person in private that I present myself to be in public? Can people depend on my word? Do I accept responsibility when I am wrong? How do I treat people who have less power than I do? Do I give credit to others? Can people safely trust me with confidential information? Do I manipulate situations to make myself look better? What would my colleagues say about my integrity if I were not in the room? The final question is particularly important because leadership is ultimately about the experience people have of you. The leadership challenge for the week: choose one area of your professional character that you know needs improvement. It could be punctuality, accountability, honesty, listening, confidentiality, keeping commitments, managing your anger, giving credit to people, receiving criticisms. Just choose one. Then deliberately practice improvement in the next 7 days. So do not attempt to transform everything at once. Your character is developed through repeated behavior. So what are the key takeaways for today? As we conclude today's conversation, remember these principles. Talent creates opportunity. Discipline creates consistency. Learning creates relevance. But character creates trust. And without trust, sustainable leadership becomes almost impossible. Your qualification may be impressive. Your achievements may be significant. Your professional network may be extensive. But your greatest long-term professional asset may simply be this: people know that they can trust you. Quote of the week: your reputation is what people remember about you. Your character is what gives them a reason to remember you. Distinguished listeners, I want to say thank you for joining me on another episode of Amogate Radio Communications. Today we examine the character advantage, why integrity is your personal virtue, not only a personal virtue, but a professional and leadership organizational asset. I would like to invite you, want to get your feedback from what you've been listening to. Send us your feedback through our email, contact@theamogate.org, or you can also send us on WhatsApp, +234 810 999 6666. That's +234 810 999 6666. Or follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, or all at Amogate rather. Then we would like you to go to our YouTube channel, which is a bank of resources. At Amogate Radio Communications, we have different broadcasts from Monday all through to Friday by different professionals and partners of Amogate that are experienced and in the various areas where they speak on. So you would want to go to that YouTube channel and go through all our broadcast messages. You could listen to anyone, and if it is from me also, there are all the ones that have been broadcast since. You can always go back and listen to them. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you for this. But as you go through the week, I encourage you to think beyond the question, what am I achieving? ask the more important question, who am I becoming while achieving it? Because success that destroys your character is ultimately too expensive. So next week we move to another critical advantage, the relationship advantage, why your network shapes your future. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, create value, and above all, build a reputation that can withstand scrutiny. I'm Adeola Gbadebo once again. Thank you for listening to Amogate Radio Communications. Have a productive and impactful week ahead.
Amogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Amogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theamogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666, +234 807 957 4151, and +161 0504 6026. www.theamogate.org. Amogate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.